Hello everyone, this is Dr. CJ Tank and today we will discuss about the stability of colloids in the physical pharmaceutics 2 SAM 4. So, what is stability of colloids? Here the good colloidal stability, that means little or no particle aggregation. That means aggregation should be avoided in our formulation. So, the manufacturing pharmacist is expected to understand the following aspect. That means meanwhile the manufacturing, the pharmacist should take care of the following points. First one, the reason for the instability of the dispersion. That means what is the reason behind the instability of particular dispersion medium, and another one, that is the suitable measures to stabilize the dispersion. That means how we can control the stability, or how we can obtain, by which different measures we can have the stable product. So, to consider this, the physical stability that can be achieved especially by maintaining the particle in a Brownian motion. Over here, if we are maintaining the Brownian motion, then obviously the physical stability of the product that will be achieved. So, again, to achieve the Brownian motion, the two things that is important. First one, we can provide the electric charge on the surface of the dispersed particles. Especially we can see this phenomena in case of lyophobic colloids. Here the like charge on the particle, it will prevent this coming closer together and thus maintaining the Brownian motion in between the particles. The like charges, due to the presence of like charges, the particle they will set up, or they will arrange in such a mode so that the Brownian movement that will come in between them, and due to that the stability will be maintained. Another one, maintain a solvent sheath around the particles. Especially we can see this phenomena in case of lyophilic colloid. Here the solvent layer, it prevents the particles coming closer, and due to that the Brownian movement it will be induced, and due to that the physical stability will be maintained. So, the physical stability of the colloids, that is very much important. Here, the unbalance in between the stability of colloid, the reason behind this instability, that might be formulation and environmental factor. First one, if we consider about the formulation factor, then due to the presence of ingredient or due to the instability in between the electrolytes, we can say the stability of the colloids cannot be maintained. And another one factor that we need to consider, that is the environmental. For example, the temperature. Due to the variation in the temperature, or due to the agitation during the handling the product, that means if we are transporting the product from one place to another place, then in such a condition instability of the colloidal product will be formed. So, over here, to understand about the instability or to maintain the physical stability of the colloidal particle, we need to understand the DLVO theory. Especially in case of lyophobic colloids, this is observed. In lyophobic colloids that is thermodynamically unstable, and the particles they are highly charged over here. So, the stability of the dispersion that can be explained on the basis of DLVO theory in case of lyophobic colloids. DLVO theory, the name, it came from the 4 different scientists, and on the basis of that DLVO, the name it indicates, which have derived the DLVO theory. According to this theory, the distance between two dispersed particles, it influences greatly the particle-particle interaction. That means, using this theory, we can say we can determine the amount of electrolyte that can be required to precipitate or stabilize a colloidal particle or colloids, any colloidal dispersion. Here in a colloidal dispersion, see the Brownian motion that results in a frequent collision between the particles. The particle, due to the presence of Brownian movement, the particles they will come closer, or we can say due to that the collision in between the particle will be induced, and due to the such type of interaction in between the particle, the stability of colloids it will be maintained. There are two type of interaction in between this particle, one that is the attraction and another one that is the repulsion. Here in case of attraction, when attraction that is predominant, that means when there is a attraction that is present in between the particles they will adhere after the collision. Once the collision is over, then again the particle they will come to closer, and due to that, in case of attraction, aggregation will be formed. Whereas in case of repulsion, when there will be the repulsion that is present in between the particle rebound after the collision and they will remain individually dispersed. So here also the aggregation will be formed in between the particle. So to understand the attraction and repulsion, we need to understand the potential energy curve in between the particle. Here in the figure, it has been shown that the potential energy versus the interparticle distance that has been plotted, especially in case of suspension. Here on the x-axis there is the interparticle distance, that means from here 0 to it will start up to the infinity, and on the y-axis there is a presence of energy. So on this curve, by the help of this curve, we can understand whether there will be the attraction or repulsion in between the particle and which criteria that need to be improved to maintain our colloidal dispersion in a stable mode. So over here, the interaction, to understand this graph, we need to understand the interaction in between the particle. The first interaction in between the particle, we can say that is the van der Waals attraction force, which is also denominated with the VA. Here the force that depends mainly on the chemical nature and the size of the particle, which is also known as a London type of attraction. We can see this in a figure VA. It also shows, that means attraction. VA, the van der Waals forces, it shows the attraction in between the particle. Another one, that is the electrostatic repulsive force, which is denominated with the VR. In the figure we can see over here, this one curve, that is, it stands for the repulsion in between the particle. Here the force mainly depends mainly on the density, surface charge and thickness of the double layer. This indicates also the magnitude of the zeta potential, and this is denominated by VR. So mainly it indicates the repulsion in between the particles. Then afterwards, the net energy of interaction, that is denominated with the VT, that is also known as a composite curve VT. This is the algebraic addition of the about two curves, that means the interaction in between the van der Waals attraction force and electrostatic repulsion force. That's why this is known as a composite curve, or we can say which is denominated with the VT. In the figure we can see it starts from here, and with the help of with the denomination of the potential barrier, it will end toward the here. So it includes the primary minimum, potential barrier and secondary minimum. We will see this. On the basis of this, we can conclude that it will shows primary minimum, net energy peak and secondary minimum. We will discuss one by one. First one, we can see on the basis of energy curve, what we can conclude. First one, that is the primary minimum. That means it is the sign of precipitation. When particles they are very close to each other, then due to this presence, atomic orbital overlaps and penetrate each other, and due to that we can see the precipitation in between the particles. This is indicated by a rapid rise in a potential energy curve. Over here in a figure we can say it is a rapid rise in between the particle. The net result is a strong attraction, and due to that the precipitation will happen over here. Then another one, after this primary minimum, we can have the net energy peak, which is the sign of better stability. at intermediate distance, that means over here we can consider the distance has been raised. Here on the x-axis, if we are starting from the 0, then the distance between the particle has been raised. That means we can say at intermediate distance, appreciable repulsive forces it will comes, and due to that we can say the zeta potential value it will be in a positive mode, and this potential barrier it will keep the particle in a Brownian movement, and due to that the stability of the dispersion that will be achieved. Here the peak, at this peak the maximum potential that will be designated by the Vm. This is the stability of colloidal system, which is defined as the height of the maximum in the potential energy curve. The value of Vm that will be nearly the 50 millivolt if we consider about the zeta potential, and this will impart mainly the stability of our colloidal dispersion. Then the third portion of the composite curve, we can say that one is a secondary minimum. This secondary minimum, it is a sign of again aggregation. This is observed when the particle they are separated by 1000 to 2000 angstrom. That means we can say the particles they are separated by the very long distance. Here the particle experience attraction force and they will form the aggregation in between the particle. The presence of secondary minimum is taken very advantage, especially in case of controlled flocculation when we are preparing for a coarse dispersion. So this is about the coarse. This is about the energy curve. Again, we can discuss in the figure over here. If we are considering the composite curve, then first portion that will be the primary minimum. It will show the attraction. Then afterwards we can consider another one, that is the potential barrier, that is denominated with the Vm, and third portion we need to consider, that is the secondary minimum, again that is denominated with the attraction. Here in case of primary minimum and secondary minimum, in both the conditions there will be the attraction. The only difference over here in a secondary minimum, that is the particle will be separated out through 1000 to 2000 angstrom. That means the distance in between the particle that will be higher. But here also we can see we can have the attraction in between the particle. So if we consider about the summary of DLVO theory, then we can say the colloidal particles they will coagulate when their kinetic energy that will be sufficient to overcome the potential energy barrier, that means Vm. So the coagulation of the colloidal particle that can be accelerated by two ways. First one we can say by reducing the height of the potential barrier, that means we can reduce the Vm, and by increasing the kinetic energy of the particles we can increase the kinetic energy, and by that way also we can have the coagulation of the colloidal particle that can be accelerated by these two ways. So this was about the physical stability of the colloidal dispersion. Thank you for watching this video.